Should you buy the Masters of Ceremony Warbond? This new Warbond's been out for 3 days or 4 days now. It is the 18th. This Warbond dropped on the 15th of May. And I'm here to tell you that, unless you have the other Warbonds unlocked and you just need something to buy, or B, you're a newer player and can benefit greatly through the booster that's available in this Warbond, you might want to pick up some other Warbonds before picking up this one. Now that is not to say that this Warbond is terrible. There are some good things to be had in this Warbond, such as the new Marksman Rifle and the Pyrotech Grenade, but we'll go over some details here, starting out with the Armor passive. It's called Reinforced Impaulets. This one gives the wearer a 50% chance to avoid grievous limb injury. Kind of curious as to why they went with a passive for limb stats or whatever, because we do have servo assisted. Servo assisted I think is just overall better because it gives you 50% increase to your limb health. In addition to that, with servo assisted you get an increase to your throwing range by 30%, whereas the new passive just gives you a chance to not take lethal damage with a sheer amount of enemies in the game that are attacking you on the highest difficulty. I'd rather have the straight stat from servo assisted as opposed to the chance to not take lethal damage with the new passive. Also, while we're on this topic, Democracy Protects is just overall better than both if we're talking about taking lethal damage, because Democracy Protects gives you a 50% chance not to die when taking that lethal damage. So something such as even like a Hellbomb backpack exploding on your back, you can actually survive that with Democracy Protects. It also prevents damage from torso bleeds, and torso bleeds is something that will actually kill your Helldiver if you do succumb to that and you have no stims. But limb injuries won't actually kill your Helldiver, they'll just slow you down or reduce your aiming capability. Moving on to the primary weapon we received from the new Warbond is the Artec 2 Amendment. This is a light armor penetrating marksman rifle. It has a damage output of 200, so it's pretty good. It has semi-auto and burst as its firing modes, so it'll output that 200 damage very quickly. I think this outperforms the regular Diligence in my opinion. The ergonomics is a little bit worse, but you can make up for that by removing the 4x combat scope that it comes with for the reflex sight all the way down to the 1.5x tube red dots. This will help make the gun feel a little bit easier to sway back and forth from left to right. The weapon also features a bayonet attachment, so you can utilize that when you're in those close quarters engagements, especially with your light armored foes. Overall, a solid choice for a primary weapon. I really enjoy using the Amendment. Alright, moving on to the secondary melee weapon, we have the CQC Tech 2 Saber. It is pretty much like the combat hatchet that we have already. It severs. Again, it's noted as light armor penetrating, but this does work on medium armored enemies. You just have to continuously hit them. I think that the best combo with the hatchet as well as the saber would be something that stuns, so something like a stun grenade, or you can use the Halt Shotgun's stun rounds to lock your enemies in place before you're starting to hit them. Specifically more for the Overseers. As the Voteless, you can just go ahead and whack those, no problem. Moving on to the Throwable, we have the G-Tech 142 Pyrotech. Now this grenade actually did surprise me a lot. I thought it was going to be useless with the sparks. However, those sparks do AP 5. The damage sheet does not do justice to this grenade. As you can see in this clip here, I'm able to take down a Hulk within seconds with the Pyrotech because it does AP 5. This does work on tanks, Striders, your Chargers. It's just very good, but it's very sporadic. So if you're able to place it the right way and it spins in that general area where your bigger targets are, they'll typically go down pretty quickly with the Pyrotech. And you also get 8 of these when utilizing the engineering kit passive, and 6 without engineering kit, so still more than most of the other grenades. For example, the Thermite, you only get 3, and most other grenades are either 4 or 5. Alright, moving on to what I believe most people bought the Warbond for was the memes. So we have the Stratagem, the One True Flag. This is a support weapon. It's a melee weapon that is light armor penetrating. You can wave it around, you can place it in the ground. It looks fantastic, but it is a prop. It doesn't make raise the flag faster, unfortunately. It doesn't give any buffs to Helldivers. I think that's a big missed opportunity from Arrowhead, in my opinion. I really wanted this to be a just amazing melee support weapon, but just turned out to be what I feared, which was a meme. So this was kind of the worst out of everything in the Warbond, in my opinion, but you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, so last item I want to talk about is the booster. This is Sample Scanner. This gives Helldivers a 15% chance to retrieve twice the amount of samples on a sample pickup. I think this pairs well with the other sample booster that we have. I think this was in the last Warbond. That's the Cowboy Warbond. Let me know if I'm correct on that one. I believe I'm correct on that one. But for the lower end players that don't have all of their stratagems and ship upgrades unlocked, I think this is a great booster to have, as this will increase your overall sample pickup rates and counts at the end of your missions. And that's why I kind of rate this Warbond as a, if you can utilize the sample scanner from it, I think it's worth grabbing. Also, if you have everything unlocked, I think it's still worth grabbing, as the Pyrotech grenades are still very good in my opinion, even though how sporadic they can be. And that's my opinion of the Warbond. It's mid. It's not great, but it's not bad. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's mid? Do you think it's just a meme? It's a little bit memey. There's definitely memes. Anyway guys, that's going to do it for the video. I appreciate everyone's time and watching. Thank you for clicking on the video. We'll see you in the next one, and take care everybody.